Good afternoon, everybody. No, it's not Sunday. I know you probably think it's Sunday because you see me and Allison together, but no, it's a Monday. Yesterday, I didn't get the opportunity to do Soul Sunday because I had to go to a last minute marriage. But it was beautiful and it was worth it. And I'm happy for them because it's about time. But today, we are going live to make up for Soul Sunday that we didn't do on yesterday. So, for those that don't know me, I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur and the Soul Speaker. I am the author of the Goddess Grind series, which focuses on balancing chakras and learning universal law in order to manifest success within your business. And why is this? Oh, there it is. And that's all I got right now. I'm sorry. Mondays are usually reserved for like my admin days where I do all of my content producing and writing and everything. So I'm a little off today, but it's okay because I still have this message that needs to be delivered. So I'm going to stop talking and let Allison introduce herself.
What's up, everybody? This is Allison with Be Still and Move, the organization designed to help you heal, grow, and live beyond that relationship status by becoming better, not bitter, and enjoying your life along the journey. I am a speaker, a teacher, a writer, a blogger, a vlogger. I do a little bit of everything, and I sell other stuff on the side. And I'm just really happy to be here on this Soul Sunday / Monday.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to keep reminding you that it's Monday and not Sunday. But hi, Dion. Thank you for joining us. Today's topic for Soul Sunday / Monday is going to be about the chakra systems. We, of course, you all know that my focus is on balancing the chakras and healing the chakras. And I just felt that at this particular point, it was time to really go more in depth with that, explain that, and also allow you all to ask questions. We have an open discussion about it. So that's why I chose this particular topic. And also with tomorrow, me, Tara, and Allison will, be talking more about healing. So I kind of wanted to give us a little break from that since we'll be talking about it more tomorrow. But I know this particular topic is something that Allison was interested in. So Allison, what is your feedback about this week's topic?
My feedback is that I plan to put in as much as I can based off what I've learned from you, but I'm going to be a student and a teacher at the same time because I've spent a lot of time, dealing more with chakras and getting back into my meditation and all of these other things. And I've cleaned a couple up. I'm kind of proud of myself. So I'm looking forward to what you have to share and what I can, add to it.
Awesomeness. Now, I am going to do this disclaimer again. But of course, me and Allison have been trying something new with this split screen and a new program. So just please bear with us, just in case you may see like a little delay or hesitation or something like that on your end. It's completely okay because if you happen to be one of our replay viewers, then you will see it without the interruption. So if you're watching now, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm so sorry, but just bear with us. But if you happen to watch it on the replay, just comment your name below and let us know where you're watching from so we can thank you later. And hey, Madison, let me see. Allison, she can't really get on her phone to check to see who's watching so she can shout people out. Because I'm sorry, boo-boo. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. I might be able to. Let me try it.
Oh, yeah. She done pulled out the
phone. Let me see.
She done pulled out the other phone just that quick. But thank you all for watching. If you feel that anything that we say is beneficial or resonates with you, or you feel like somebody else can benefit from the information, please feel free to share. Please feel free to ask questions, to engage. Any type of comments or anything, me and Allison, we really appreciate it and we love to engage.
Yes.
Now, we are going to start, and we're going to start with discussing what is the chakra system. Now, for those of you who don't know me or know what the Goddess Grind is about, it is a book series that I am in the process of writing. I finished the first 2 books, and the first book is entitled The Goddess Grind. We grind with one eye open, which this is it right here. But this particular book is focused on the chakra system, the personal chakra system, and how you can balance your personal chakra system in order to manifest success within your business. In the book, I do go in depth about each chakra, the 7 main chakras. And with going in depth, we talk about what each chakra is when it's balanced, when it's underactive, and when it's overactive, and things you can do to help balance and heal those. But with the chakra system, is basically our energy body, where they are energy centers that are within all of us, and they are associated with different spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical aspects of who we are. And sometimes when those particular chakras are out of balance, or they're closed, or even if they're overactive, then they can cause emotional problems or some mental problems or physical problems or spiritual problems. But the reason I like to focus on those is because with understanding what the chakras are, then we are better equipped to balance and effectively manage our feelings and our emotions. And I also like to focus on, sharing what the direct connection is between balancing chakras and mental wellness. So with the first chakra, which is our root chakra, it is associated with, well, it's pretty much our survival chakra. So it's associated with us feeling safe and secure, us being grounded, knowing what our purpose is, living in our purpose, and is mostly related to how we were brought up or how we were raised. When I do chakra consultations, I find that pretty much about 98% of my clients, they have an underactive root chakra. I have had clients that are, open in that area. Open means they're balanced. And I had some that are overactive, but in most cases it's underactive. And I know for us, melanated individuals, that has a lot to do with how we were raised, because a lot of our parents' beliefs or lack of beliefs or lack of pursuing dreams and whatnot, or any fears that they had, they instilled that within us. So I'm going to kind of stop there, and I'm going to let Allison chime in before I get too into it, because I can go and keep going, but I'm not going to do that today.
I wish you would.
And you just sit there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be sitting here with notes, pen, paper, everything. I have a little more to say about the next chakra she's going to talk about, but this particular one, when I took the root chakra test, and when we finish, if you're interested, I'm sure Ruby can put the link below this video. But I did have an instance where mine was underactive, and a lot of the reasons that Ruby gave were spot on. It was related to upbringing, and there were certain things that I wanted to do that I was told, oh, that's not a real job, and you shouldn't want to do that, and you shouldn't want to go here, and you shouldn't want to go there. And, I grew up in a very heavily Christian background, and my grandmother said to me once that she felt that I was called into ministry. I didn't want anything to do with it then. I don't want anything to do with it now, but I'm not going to say she was wrong. I am bringing a message, but I'm bringing a message in a different way. And may they rest in peace, they might not necessarily be pleased with the way that I'm doing it, because of the fact that it's not what they're used to seeing, and what their mindset was, and what their view was when they heard those things. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. If you came from a Christian background, being called into ministry in some families is almost like being told that you're a doctor. They held it with the same amount of regard. And so
right.
see that I'm bringing a message, but I can see where my root chakra was underactive because of the fact that I did have other people's beliefs and other people's visions that were, basically blocking what I really am and what I'm really meant to do. So I encourage everybody to, get that checked out. Make sure, take the test. Take the test. That's all I'm going to say. Take the test and get a baseline for where you are. That is so important.
Yes. Because right now, a lot of people are clueless as to what we're talking about, but that's why we're doing this. Because, of course, when we're growing up, we never hear the word. It's never brought up while we're in school. While we're in school, it's never brought up in church. It's never brought up in our circle of friends, family, or anything. And then, of course, by the time you get to our age or older, and people mention chakras, then it's just like, well, if it doesn't have anything to do with this religion, then it's evil. If it doesn't have anything to do with what I've been taught, then it's evil. If it doesn't have anything to do with what I believe in, then it's wrong. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not right. And as I'm saying that, I just want to say this: with the chakra system, it's not solely tied to any religion or any belief or anything. It's pretty much, look at it as a part of us that every person have regardless. Just like we all have 2 arms, 2 legs, a heart, and everything, everybody has a chakra system. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you live. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It doesn't matter your ethnic background. It doesn't matter what job you have. None of that matters.
Yeah.
It's just knowing that this is a part of you that you need to become familiar with. And it's important that you do that, because we rarely ever look at any mental or emotional or spiritual aspects of who we are unless it has to do with I'm spiritual now, I'm no longer religious, and this is why. And that's pretty much as far as we take it. Or either you're mentally well or you are not mentally well, you have a mental illness, and it's just okay, you need to dig in the back into your background and figure some stuff out, and then you get better. It's not always that simple. There's a lot of understanding that goes into this. With the next chakra, which the second one, well, actually, let me go back to the root chakra. The color that's associated with the root chakra is the color red. And in my book, I list ways that you can balance or heal that particular chakra, which includes wearing the color red or focusing on the color red when you're meditating, or either eating foods that are red in color. So those are not the only things that you can do. There are just a few suggestions that I made in the book, but there is a number of different things that you can do, but it's going to vary per person what's going to be more effective over, one method or the other. Now, after our root chakra is our sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is our emotions chakra, which is, of course, associated with our feelings, our emotions, our sexuality, and our creativity. With that particular chakra, sometimes when it's underactive or needs some healing in that particular area, then it could be that you don't know how to effectively manage your feelings and your emotions. You try and act as if they don't affect you. Or either when it comes to sexuality, it doesn't necessarily mean the more sex you have, then the more balanced you are. No, that's not what that means at all. What it is that you're in touch with who you are, and you don't allow what society says to prohibit you from being comfortable with who you are in an intimate state. It doesn't mean that you have to be out here having sex with everybody, every opportunity you get. No, sometimes it's all about being able to control yourself. Sometimes it's as simple as being able to feel pleasure in situations where you don't normally allow yourself to feel pleasure. It doesn't have to be a sexual situation. Like, for instance, if you are not, really into riding horses, but, you're with friends and they say, well, hey, let's go ride horses. And you're like, okay, I'll go. Then it's just like, okay, even though you're doing something that you don't normally do or something that you don't like, then obviously you're doing it for a reason. So you might as well be comfortable and find some pleasure in it, even if it's just you being able to be out in nature and enjoy, you know, your surroundings, or just enjoying the time with friends. But sometimes we put ourselves in situations and we really don't want to be there, and because we really don't want to be there, then we make it the worst experience, not only for us but for everybody else. Also with the sacral chakra, it's associated with your creativity. So for me, when I was going through my depression phases, I've dealt with it twice, but during that particular time, that's when I really started getting into entrepreneurship. Because for me, the balance that I got, or what balanced out the pain and the frustration and the stress and everything that I dealt with, was planning and organizing and creating these businesses. So sometimes when you try not to really get into your emotions and your feelings or focus on that, then that keeps you from being creative. Sometimes you're not able to move forward in your personal life or in your business because you're stuck. You don't know what to do. You're basically on this same cycle, and you're doing that and you're not really aware of it because you don't know what's going on. All you know is that you're stuck and you're not progressing in any direction. So I'm just going to stop it there, and I'm going to go ahead and let Allison chime in.
I will definitely add on to what Ruby was just talking about in terms of entrepreneurship and creativity. And that was one of the areas that I have been working on successfully. Shout out to Marcus, by the way, now that I forgot to do that the first time. The biggest thing about this chakra is that you can look at it in the sense of, let's say your root chakra is telling you it's supposed to help you find out what your purpose is. The sacral chakra, to me, and Ruby can correct me if I'm wrong, but the sacral chakra to me says how what you're going to accomplish is going to come out of you, based off of your emotions, based off of your experiences. And when you haven't necessarily dealt with those experiences yet, or when you have gotten to a point where you're trying to pretend that something doesn't bother you, as she mentioned, or you're on the other extreme where you're letting everything bother you, when you're out of balance, you're going to notice that it is going to affect those outlets that have some type of creative or business mindset. And a lot of times business and creativity they go together. You have to be creative to figure out how to market and how to keep clients and how to come up with new products and new ideas and new ways to bring people into your business. And when this particular chakra is off balance through depression or anxiety or anger that you're not releasing or hurt feelings that you're trying to pretend aren't there, they very much block your ability to come up with new ideas. And for those who don't believe it, I just ask you to try it. Get to a place where you start to heal this area and watch all of these different ideas start to come out. And you're just like, where is this coming from? Why am I coming up with all these ideas? It's because you're allowing that part of you to heal. And so I just challenge everybody. I'm going to keep saying the same thing. Take the test. Take the test. Know where you are and take this test.
Yes. Take the test. I will post it in the comments once we're done, or either during one of these times, but I will post it so you all can take it. It doesn't take long to take it. It only takes a few minutes. And it's not like a pass or fail test. Just take it. And one thing that I do want to say about the test is this: even though you take the test one time, that doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life. Just like your feelings and emotions change, your results are going to change based on your feelings and emotions. One thing that I really like about the test is once you get into it, well, let's say before you take it, then you may think, oh, well, this is going on because of this reason. And that's what you're focusing on trying to fix. But if you take the test and you see that you're balanced in that particular area, then it's just like, well, I thought this was going on, but it's actually something else. it's going to point that out as well. It's a lot of cases where we're working on something that we feel we need to work on, but it's not really the root of the issue.
Right.
So taking this test will actually give you a lot of clarity and figuring out what areas you need to work on. A lot of the times when people take the test, they want to ask me, well, what does it mean? I charge to tell you all what it means. And that's because we can really get into some deep conversation about what's going on. And with us going back and forth with this dialogue, I can't predict the future. I can't tell you what's going on unless you share the information with me, for one thing. But because we get into some very sensitive areas when it comes to what's been going on in your life and whatnot, I can sometimes point out things that you've never thought about, or point out some things that you've never considered, because the way I think is a certain way. The messages that I get, I only get them at certain times. Each conversation that I've had with all of my different clients, we all cover basic information, but ultimately each conversation ends up going in a completely different direction. And the things that I suggest and the things that I point out are never the same. Mm-hmm. So, like Allison said, take the test. The next chakra after the sacral chakra is our solar plexus chakra. With our solar plexus chakra, or our navel chakra, that is our willpower chakra. That's pretty much how we feel about ourselves, our self-confidence, self-esteem, our ability to maintain our power and not give it away to other people, and also how we feel about ourselves, the type of relationship that we have with ourselves. When that particular chakra is not balanced, then of course you can experience low self-esteem, low self-confidence. You are very critical of yourself. You allow people to get under your skin. You give your energy to things outside of you and things that don't matter. You don't know how to control it when somebody says something insignificant. Like, you can go to a restaurant and they mess up your food, and simply because and I know food is a sensitive subject because I like to eat. And when I go somewhere and I'm waiting on my food to come out right the first time because I'm ready to eat it the first time. Right. But if it comes out and it's not right, then it's just like, oh, why they playing with me like this? I'm hungry. Ain't nobody got time for this. And I really don't want to get an attitude because I don't want to send it back and they do something to it. Yep. But you just have to understand, I have to understand, okay, it's just food. Just give them a minute. It's not that serious. You're still going to eat. This is not like the last meal that's ever going to be put in front of you. You can still eat. And, it's okay. Calm down. But it's just things like that. We allow, when this particular chakra is not balanced, we allow things to get under our skin so easily. And, me, this is a thought that I have sometimes, and it's not to put anybody down or anything like that, but it's just like, when I think about the sacral chakra and scrolling through Facebook, it's like, really, how many empowerment conferences can you go to until it kicks in that at some point you have to be empowered to do something? Okay, you leave the conference empowered, and then it's like, what? You go to the next empowerment conference and you leave that one empowered, and you just continue this particular cycle. But at some point you have to let willpower kick in and actually start doing. Yep. You can only go to so many, empowerment conferences before it's just like, okay, how much money have you spent on doing this and you haven't done anything with it? Exactly. Willpowerment is very important, especially when it comes to your solar plexus chakra. You have to start doing those things as far as self-care, self-love, strengthening the relationship that you have with yourself, planning, doing things that make you happy as opposed to things that don't make you happy. You just have to you know, it's just something that we have to do in order to be able to be everything that you need to be to everybody else. Be what you need to be to yourself first. So I'm going to kind of stop right there, and I'm going to let Allison chime in.
This one is so true, especially if you find, and you don't have to admit it to anybody, but deep down you know, if you're really, really defensive, if you're extremely arrogant about a particular thing, you may think that you know more, or you may think that you're somehow so enlightened that you just can't stand the idea that you're the only person who sees the light, quote unquote. These are all signs of insecurity. Because when you are secure in your knowledge, when you are secure in who you are and what you want and what you deserve and what you put up with versus what you want, if you're confident in those things, you allow that confidence to speak words that you don't have to actually verbalize. But when you feel the need to constantly put other people down to feel better than you, or feel better to yourself, or you constantly feel the need to push back any type of criticism that's constructive, these are also some clear signs that you're not in a place where you want to know the truth about you, and you don't want to really know the truth about the environment that you're in. And if you're not being truthful to yourself, then 9 times out of 10, you're also in an environment that reflects the fact that you're not true to yourself. And so this is a really this is one that's really, really important if you find yourself having an environment like that, or being able to self-acknowledge that you do have those issues with arrogance or insecurity or whatever. It's important to know that, and this is going to be one of the first places that you want to start. You start healing here, you're healing from within. And I know Ruby's going to bring that up, but all of these are designed to help you heal from within. No more pointing fingers, no more thinking about experiences, not that they didn't hurt, but what are you going to do with that hurt now? What are you going to do with that stuff now? Are you just going to sit on the fact that it hurt, or are you going to sit on the fact that it hurt, but you still have to move forward in a healthy way? So that's what this whole exercise, if you decide to take the test, that's what it's designed to do. Just show you where you need to check up.
So y'all know Allison gonna keep mentioning this test every time she says something.
Because it was amazing. And one of the things that you said the last time was so true. I've taken it twice and it's already changed. It's already changed twice.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all better get this knowledge. Y'all better get this stuff. I'm trying to tell y'all. Get it. Now, of course, y'all go buy my book. But in this book, I talk about the chakras. Like, I don't know, y'all can't see that. See, I give it to y'all. Wait a minute, I'm still learning this camera because it's backwards. But it has it in there. I have all the information for you. See, solar plexus chakra. Wait, let me make sure I'm moving it the right way. Anyway, y'all get the point. I still got to figure all this out. But you can go to www.thegoddessgrind.com, and I have the paperback available and I have the ebook available. So you can get either one. Now, after the solar plexus chakra, we have our heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra is pretty much self-explanatory. We all know what we have a heart for and what it's used for. But sometimes what we don't think about is with our heart chakra is basically our ability to love and be compassionate and be able to receive that. A lot of times when I speak with clients and it comes to the heart chakra and they're underactive in that area, it's not that they don't know how to love people or they don't feel like they give love. What really sticks out is the fact that they don't know how to receive it, not receive it from other people, but receive it from themselves. And that can cause a huge blockage in your heart chakra if you're not aware of it. And when you don't love yourself, then that can be indicated through lack of self-care. You take care of everybody else before you take care of yourself. You don't spend enough time with yourself. You are not familiar with yourself. You're miseducated about yourself. You don't even know what you like. Well, you don't know what you truly like. You don't know what you truly desire. And if you're not allowing yourself to receive it from you, then you're going to receive distorted, where you're going to receive, you'll receive it from other people, but it'll be distorted because you haven't really set that standard with yourself of what it is you should be receiving.
Mm-hmm.
You think just because somebody is paying love, do you pay attention to yourself? Like, really, do you? And simply because somebody's paying you attention doesn't mean they love you. Simply because somebody tell you what you want to hear doesn't mean that they love you. I mean, you tell yourself all the time, okay, we're going to go work out. And how many times have you gone to work out?
Right.
I mean, just come on now. Just be honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself is showing love to yourself. That's another way to heal and balance that particular chakra. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm sorry. Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Lisa. Lisa says, I'm definitely going to take it. I have to run. Peace to you. We thank you for tuning in. Just, you could just always, catch the replay to watch the rest of it, but I'll go back. I'll be sure to post a link for the chakra test. But like I said, with the heart chakra, it's pretty much self-explanatory, and I'm just going to leave it there and let Allison chime in.
Oh, now this one, this one I can speak about. I can. You want to look at the heart chakra in two ways. Now, Ruby talked about it from the mindset of, not knowing what you want, not knowing what you need, basically lashing on to anyone who shows you love because you don't do it for yourself on enough of a regular basis. But there's another aspect I want you to think about as well, and it's how you treat other people. One of the things that I've had to learn through my experience with, dealing with a narcissist and dealing with narcissistic abuse, a lot of times you want to internalize that. And that's also where you have a deficiency or an underactive heart chakra, because if you are showing yourself love and if you are showing yourself how you want to be treated, what you know you need versus what you don't, then you won't automatically internalize the bad treatment that someone else is giving you. Now, if you happen to be someone who does the bad treatment, though, you have a seriously underactive heart chakra, because you know deep down if someone is giving the behavior that warrants the behavior you're giving back. And you know right now if they're not. You know if someone is being good to you and you're taking advantage of it, or being manipulative, or being deceitful, or being ambiguous, or not being clear, being inconsistent. All of these are not a reflection of that person. They're a reflection of you. There's something in you that says you either don't deserve it, you don't think you're going to have it, or you're basically showing that person how you want to be treated because that's secretly how you're treating yourself. You can the way that you're eating or what you're drinking or if you're sleeping or whatever, but if your heart isn't turned on for you, you're never going to be able to accept when someone else's heart is turned on for you, because you don't even see the value in you. So you're going to be upset if anybody else shows you the value that they see, and they're not wrong. You just don't see it. And so it's imperative, if you are one of those people, if you're an abuser, if you're emotionally unavailable, if you like to play with people's feelings, if you like to be inconsistent, these are all signs that you don't care about you. So seriously look into the heart chakra, seriously look into how to heal, how to cleanse. I know Ruby has that in her book. I'm sure that there, in addition to the book, there are other things. If you need additional assistance, you can reach out to her. She can show you how to do it. But I guarantee you, if you are one of the people who have one of the deficiencies that I named, you need to check this out. You need to check this out.
Take the test.
Take the test. I'm telling y'all, that test is amazing. Take the test.
It's a free test.
It's free. And you can't fail. There's no pass fail.
Right.
Be afraid of it. It just says where you are. And at the end of the day, you have to know where you are to know where you need to go. It's just
Right. It's no right or wrong.
it's no right or wrong.
Now, after the heart chakra, we have our throat chakra.
Ooh, yes.
Our throat chakra is our chakra that's associated with us being able to speak our truth, being able to communicate effectively. Effective communication includes being able to convey your thoughts completely as you intended, and also being able to listen to understand what's being said.
Not to respond. To
right.
understand. Yes.
That part. Also, with effective communication, we also have to understand that when we're speaking to others about what it is, or whatever the subject matter is, even though our intention, we've thoroughly set our intention on how we want them to receive it, we still have to understand that they're only going to receive it from the level of understanding and experience. Right. Sometimes it's no matter how much you explain it, no matter how you try to break it down, and it's just like, why won't this person get it? Why don't this person understand? It's because they're only going to understand it and receive it from their level of experience. Right. Some people, everybody is not equipped to understand other people's opinions or other people's input. That's why you have some people that are so adamant about what they believe in that they're not willing to listen to anything else. Right. And we just have to accept that that's where they are. But with the throat chakra, sometimes it can be underactive, sometimes it can be overactive. When it's underactive, you have a tendency to not be able to communicate effectively. You are sometimes in situations where you feel like you don't speak up because you feel that you're not being heard or people are not listening to you. Sometimes it's not always about who's listening to you, because the person that you feel should be listening may not be the one who that particular message is meant for. It could be for somebody else. So you need to speak regardless. Say what you have to say, but it's a way to say it. Sometimes with our throat chakras, it can be overactive. I see a lot of this on Facebook. Some people talk entirely too much and do not listen enough. I know y'all have heard, okay, you have 2 ears and you have 1 mouth. That means you're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk. Right. Do it. Please do it. Please do it. But also with the throat chakra, I put a post up last week where it says, when we were little, if we hadn't got popped in the mouth, well, us being popped in the mouth as children has caused us not to want to speak up now. And our throat chakra needs healing. And, you know, of course, when we were little, if we started to say something where we were getting into grown folks' business, we got popped in the mouth. Or we started to say something where if your mom was in the grocery store, and you know, children do not have a filter. And, you know, we didn't have a filter when we were little. If the lady in front of us looked like, the back of her neck looked like a pack of hot dogs, and that's what we was about to say, and our mama knew what we was about to say, we got smacked in the mouth and said, shh. And we looking at our mama like, why? You know, it's the truth. That's what it looks like. But of course, we as children, we just didn't have that filter. But that's the thing. Okay, out in public, I realized, you know, we didn't necessarily have to get popped in the mouth. We could have been told, okay, now is not the time. Tell me when we get to the car. Right. But because you can only be popped in the mouth so many times before you just shut up altogether. True. Because that hurts. Yes, especially if you were holding your mouth a certain way and your lip caught your tooth and it kind of exactly. Yes. You know, it was not fun getting popped in the mouth. But even as children, once we became adults, that's still in the back of our minds. So we have a tendency not to speak on certain things when we should be able to speak, but understand that it's a time and place for everything. Yes. Yes. Tate said, wait a minute. Tate gonna put really my lips still swole.
Oh my God.
We thank you for tuning in, Tate. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
And Tate made another comment of,
he did.
Mama, look at that fat lady. She needs to be walking and not school. And I'm sure you got popped in the mouth for that too. That's why your lips are swole. Okay. Right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Allison say her piece on this.
Here, I'm just gonna, give my own experience with the throat chakra. And this may help other people. I want you to also know, if you happen to be listening to this, whether it's now or if you catch us on replay, if you happen to immediately say, oh, my throat chakra is fine, I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and then you take the test and you find out that it's underactive, I want you to understand that there is a reason for that. And the reason is that you're not looking at your life in totality. There's a chance that you may be, I say what I mean and mean what I say when it comes to work, when it comes to your kids, when it comes to family relationships. But there's a chance, and this was a situation I had, there's a chance that it's underactive because you won't ask for what you want in intimate and personal relationships. And it usually is because of fear. You're afraid of hearing the word no. And another way to know that you may be dealing with that is if you do find that you're underactive. And here, I'll give an example, one of my own personals. There was one situation where I was trying to ask for what I wanted, but I wanted to come with all of this data and these clues and this speech and all this other stuff. But it was me trying to prove that I deserved what I asked for. But I didn't need to prove it because I knew I deserved it. I was just afraid of hearing the word no. So I thought if I said enough words and showed enough signs and gave enough this and gave enough that the person would have no choice but to say yes to what I asked for. But you have to remember that people always have a choice. People always have a choice, but you have to remember that when I say people, it means you do too. So you have the choice to say, this is what I need. No extra, no fluff, just come out with it. That person then has the option to say no. You then also, though, have the option to say, I'm not going to get what I need here. I need to go. You have that option. Now, it may hurt you more because you were hoping for an answer that you didn't get. And that was my situation. I was hoping for an answer that I didn't get. But at the end of the day, the same way that person has a decision to make, you also have to remember you have a decision to make. And if you find that you're having an issue just simply speaking what you already know you should have, you need to get that throat chakra cleaned up so you can open your mouth. Take this test. I just keep saying it. Take this test. It is so eye-opening. It is so eye-opening. Take the test.
Thank you, Tate. We really appreciate it. You know, we be trying to get better, not better.
Really? You better use my line.
And on that note, let me just go ahead and there you go, right there. There you go. Let me make sure I spelled everything right. BeStillAndMove.org. See, I did it.
Thank you.
That's Allison's website. Make sure y'all check it out. Yeah. Make sure you check it out. But after our throat chakra, we have our third eye chakra. And our third eye chakra is, of course, associated with, that's our intuition chakra. Us being able to follow our intuition, look at the bigger picture, not follow the status quo, being able to see beyond right now or what's directly in front of us. With the third eye chakra, for one, I find that a lot of people don't follow their intuition. And when I say intuition, think about discernment. If your intuition tells you that somebody isn't for you, that's discernment at work. Mm-hmm. You know, listen to it. You may not know right then why, but just trust yourself. Trust yourself enough to know that when your intuition is telling you, no, don't be like, well, what? No. Just go with the no and figure the rest out later. A lot of us, when I say that with the third eye, you pay too much attention on what's directly in front of you instead of being able to see beyond that. A lot of us, when we have issues, we already know that life is going to happen. Life is going to be unfortunate sometimes, but when those unfortunate things happen, you can't put everything into that particular moment because you have to live tomorrow. You have to continue to live beyond that particular day. You're not going to always be in this situation. You're not always going to be, this is not the end of your life. And a lot of times when people get stuck in that particular mode, they don't want to pursue anything else. They become fearful. They don't want to pursue dreams, and they get indecisive about, how to move forward or even whether or not to move forward. That's, because your third eye chakra needs healing. You can't see beyond what you're looking at right now. Also with the third eye chakra, when you need balancing in that area, I mentioned indecisiveness. You try not to have to put yourself in a situation to make a decision. It's just like, how can you do that when your life is 100% based on decisions that you make? It should be. And if it's not, then that is a clear indication that your third eye chakra needs some healing.
Yes, it is.
Usually I find that the third eye chakra is the one that most people open up more, because it has a lot to do with enlightenment and becoming more spiritually connected, as opposed to, religion. So, I've seen in a lot of cases where people are open in the third eye and their root chakra is underactive or it's closed. Ideally, we would like you to start with your root chakra being open first, because that makes everything else easier. But if that's not the case, then there's nothing wrong with that. Allison probably took the test and her third eye chakra was open and her root chakra was underactive, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like we said, you can't pass or fail the test. It just tells you where you are at the moment.
That's right.
Allison?
This one, I'm just going to give personal experience as recently as last night. We've talked about how to tell in terms of your behavior and your feelings, but when you actively get to the process of going through this, the first thing is part of any of these openings of these chakras, it is going to involve some form of meditation. And so I was meditating last night, and I ended up looking this up after I finished. When you get to a particular state, and those of you who meditate are going to know what I mean. If you're new to it, it's going to happen eventually. But even though you start with your eyes closed, you get to this different realm. And some of you have noticed that if you happen to do a guided one, once you're done, they'll tell you to slowly open your eyes. And one of the reasons for that is because if you open them too quickly, once you get to this other realm, you'll be dizzy. And so I was meditating last night. I had my candles going. I had the frequency. I can't remember what frequency the music was playing, but I actually had my eyes closed and I saw purple for the first time. I saw purple with my eyes closed, and I saw a bright, small light far away, but my eyes were still closed. And that was my first experience knowing that my third eye chakra was opening. It was it was almost surreal. I opened my eyes to think, okay, maybe they're open and I don't know it. Why am I seeing purple right now? But I closed my eyes and I got back to that level again, that realm, because as you meditate, it's more than just crossing your legs and holding your hands and closing your eyes. As you get more deeply involved in immersing yourself in you reach these different levels. You reach these different states of consciousness. And that was my first time actually seeing colors. And so I share that story to let you guys know, you may see blue, you may see red, you may see white, you may see green. All of that those are small indications that particular chakra is opening. Keep at it. Keep doing it. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes. And take the test.
Take the test. But yes, with meditating, I've meditated in so many different ways, and it's it. I be doing the most when it comes to meditation. I will say that. I was volunteering the other day. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was Friday. I was volunteering Friday, and we were basically at this warehouse, and we were cutting tags and repacking these shirts so they could be shipped. I think it was somewhere in the Caribbean. But with doing this, I found myself where I got to the point where I really wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, but I just got so much into this rhythm of with what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And I was just looking at it like, okay, me cutting this tag off is cutting something away that I no longer need, or something that I need to let go, and I'm discarding it. And me packing it into this box is, putting whatever I needed to let go of into this box and shipping it away. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't necessarily a meditation about me bringing something new or bringing in positive energy. It was pretty much meditation, a form of meditation of just letting go, cutting away, getting rid of. And sometimes with meditation, you can start off saying, okay, this is my intention. But through the whole process, you have to trust yourself and trust your intuition, because your body is going to tell you what it needs. It's going to tell you what you need.
That's right.
I mean, I didn't go into, volunteer with my mom and saying, okay, when I volunteer, I'm going to meditate, because I had no idea what I would be doing. Mm-hmm. It's just that as I was there and I was doing it, and I just found myself in this rhythmic state, doing the same thing over and over again. It just happened. And then it dawned on me what was taking place. And then at that particular point, I was able to get deeper into it.
Yeah.
But meditation is a whole subject all of its own.
And it is.
And I don't want to go over our time. So our last chakra is our crown chakra, which is basically our chakra that's associated with us being able to connect with our higher self, our God self. And I always have to explain this in the sense, because I know some of us who are still religious, we feel like, Tate, what you talking about? But don't nobody torture squirrels. Right. Like what? But anyway, when I refer to the crown chakra and I say connect with your higher self or your God self, that's not saying that you are better than God. No, that's not what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is, when I refer to your higher self, it's that person that you ultimately want to become. Mm-hmm. Whenever we do anything, we're either contributing to our higher selves or we're contributing to our lower self. Like you say self, okay, self, I want to get healthier. So ordinarily, your higher self is going to say, okay, you need to eat healthier and you need to work out and you need to do these things to contribute to you achieving that goal. Mm-hmm. But then your lower self says, but that pizza we had last night was good. And you know that no cheeseburgers be looking nice. And you want some ice cream. And so here we are in this center part, and we're saying, well, we really want to get healthy, but that ice cream was bomb last night. So it's just like, okay, who are you going to give in to? There's nothing wrong with giving in to your lower self, but you shouldn't always give in to your lower self. Give in to your higher self. Become a better version of you. Right. Work on those things that you want to achieve. Yeah. If you never work on those things that you want to achieve, guess what? They're not just going to fall in your lap. They're not just going to come to you. You have to work towards those. And if you continue to be in your lower self, then guess what? You're going to continue to attract lower vibrational things and people and situations. Yeah. You don't deserve better if you don't want to do better. It's pretty much how that works. It's true. So, with the crown chakra, I pretty much just leave it at that, because once you start getting into spirituality and religion, that's when it starts to become really a touchy-feely subject. And at that particular point, I don't want you to basically cancel out everything else that we've talked about because I said something that you didn't agree with when it comes to religion or spirituality. So I just kind of just leave it at that. And, you know, as far as researching the chakras and all of this information, there is a wealth of information out there for you to research.
Yes, there is. There is.
Google it, Google it, Google it. And like Allison said, take the test.
Take the test. Take it.
So I'm going to go ahead and let Allison chime in on that one.
I actually don't, I'm not going to touch it. I don't want to add to it for the exact reasons that you brought up. Everything you said was just fine because I want people to get the information more than hear one thing that turns it all off. I'm good.
See, that's why me and Allison cool, like we cool because we did it. We all be sitting up here like, whatever, Allison, I guess. No, it ain't nothing like that because you know what? I love her. I'm just gonna leave it at that. She cool with me and I'm cool with her.
Absolutely.
But Tate, yes, I'm definitely working on myself right now, thinking on a higher level.
Yes.
And you should. You definitely should, Tate. Because you and them squirrels, I think you the one that be torturing them squirrels.
Okay.
You know, I'm just saying. Nobody brought that up but you. But now with the chakra system, I know we almost time went by really quick today. But anyway, with the chakra system, it even though it applies personally, we do also have a business chakra system. And that's actually what my next book in the Goddess Grind series is going to be about, explaining that more in depth, because I know that a lot of people are not aware that we have a personal chakra system, but very, very few are even aware that we have a business chakra system. They both follow the same, you know, have the same 7 chakras. It's just that one is how it affects us personally, and the other is how it affects us when it comes to business and our professional relationships in our lives. So you'll definitely get into that. Of course, with each of these chakras, the best thing that I can tell you is, like Allison said, is take the test.
Yes.
With my chakra consultations, at one point I was doing like a 15-minute consultation for like $10. And that was like well over a year ago. Now it ain't $10 no more. And it's not 15 minutes. It's 60 minutes. And I basically just went straight to the price that I ultimately wanted to charge. And I'm not even going to say it on this live because I don't want y'all to be like, it's worth it. Whatever the price is, it's worth it.
That's right.
I mean, I'm sorry if you've been like, maybe I should get one. Maybe I should get one. Maybe you should have got it when it was $10 and $25 and $50. It's not that no more. But knowing what the chakras are is very important in understanding why you need to start learning how to effectively deal with your emotions and your feelings. Even though these chakras are separate, they're all connected.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't yet taken care of or begin to work on those things from your childhood, such as fear and failure, then guess what? It's going to affect you in your personal relationships. It's going to affect you in the relationship that you have with yourself. It's going to affect you with how you give and receive love. It's going to affect you as far as how you're not able to look past right now and see beyond this moment.
Yeah.
With your root chakra, I always suggest working there first, because if you can open your root chakra, then everything else should be easier. But if not, then that's completely fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you want to buy the book, you sure can. You can go to www.thegoddessgrind.com and order the book. Like I said, the paperback is available as well as an ebook. The next book in the Goddess Grind series focuses on universal law. That's probably another, whole live session that I will probably talk about at some other time. But definitely make sure you visit the website. So tomorrow we will have our first episode of Happy, Healthy, and Healing with myself, Allison, and Miss Tara Jackson. And it will be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central Standard Time. You definitely want to watch it. If you're driving home and you can't watch it, then just listen.
Yep.
Just listen to it. But make sure you watch it. I like to compare. It's funny because even though I never told them, I like to look at me, Allison, and Tara as some wings. I'm the mild wings. Allison is the medium wings, and Tara is the hot wings. And that's because, we all have our special flavored ways of communicating this information.
Yeah.
And I'm the mild wings because I don't use what's the word I'm looking for? Animated language or spicy language. However you want to put it, that's me. I'm the mild. Allison is the medium because she'll, you'll hit one every now and then. But Tara, yeah, that's hot mama right there. Yes, Tate, I said wings. I did say wings. I did. No, I don't cuss. But make sure y'all check us out tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central Standard Time. It was a pleasure speaking with y'all today. Like I said, I apologize about yesterday. It was a very intimate and beautiful ceremony, and I was glad to have been there. But I'm Ruby D. I'm the Goddess Entrepreneur and the Soul Speaker, author of The Goddess Grind. I have Facebook Live that we do normally every Sunday, but today we had to make an exception and do it on Monday. Happy, Healthy, and Healing. I'm an esthetician. I do goddesspreneur coaching. I do some of everything, but make sure you visit the website at www.thegoddessgrind.com. I'm on Instagram at Ruby D Artistry, and on YouTube, you can search Ruby Davidson. That's it. Allison.
All right, this is Allison. You can find me on Facebook under Allison Denise. You can also find me under Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat under Be Still and Move. You can catch me on Instagram and YouTube under I Will Be Still and Move. Don't forget the website, bestillandmove.org, and check out my new sites, Allison Denise. I am now ready to come to you nationwide and speak at your next event. And the HDL Group, my new nonprofit, where we are going to just bring more awareness to the non-physical side of domestic violence, the emotional, physical, narcissistic, and spiritual abuse.
And that's it. This was Soul Sunday, where our topic was the chakra systems. We had a good time talking about it. I had a great time sharing information with you all. But like Allison said, I'm going to say it one more time, Allison.
Take the test. Take it. Take this test.
I will post the link. I want you to be the first one to go and take that test. The first one to go take it. But other than that, it's been fun. We'll see you all tomorrow, actually. And then after we see you tomorrow, we will see you next Sunday for the next Soul Sunday. But until next time, peace.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. I'm just waiting for the button to come up so I can end it.